You've entered the zone. What zone? The zone where Roundtable Sports resides. Welcome everyone. Roundtable Sports. I'm Frank Dodd. For those of you that listen to our Roundtable podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts, you already know about our models that produce some very impressive stats on every Georgia game last season. For example, against the spread, against over-under, we accurately forecasted 10 unders, 4 overs, all in Georgia games last season.
We're also 14-0 straight up.
We're also 14-0 straight up.
So we knew Georgia quite well in 2023. Many happy listeners truly thank us for these amazing picks. We were happy to help. So can we do it again in 2024? Absolutely. First, all the fundamentals for Georgia are largely the same. The model really likes Georgia. So let's dive in. We have just enough time to put together every game right now. Early projections for every Georgia game every week. We're going to break it down for you. Game, spread, over, under, and straight. We were, 43-3, almost as good as Georgia. I mean, we're as good as, our record is as good as Georgia's almost. In fact, I think it's a percentage point higher. But even if it's close, it's about to be more equal. What do you mean? Well, we're going to have to break down the Georgia game. But just remember, we batted 1,000 on winners and losers and over under. That's 43. We looked it up. 43 wins. And many people tell us, thank you. You're welcome. You see, the model developed 16 years ago has always been very accurate on Georgia games. Partly because we're big Georgia fans, so we just know the team. This insight helps, but the model has a unique factor for Georgia games that is unique to Georgia. This singular factor increases our accuracy to near 100%. For 16 years. It could be luck, but it's been a very lucky time for sure. Applying our model to Georgia through 2 different coaching regimes, the model just loves Georgia. And so do we. And so let's dive in right now. Splash. To the business at hand. You came here to hear about the Clemson game, and we're going to give it to you 8 weeks early, but it'll still be right. The business at hand is figuring out what's going to happen to Georgia and Clemson when they line up on August 30th or whatever. Agree? That's why you clicked on the video, and we're going to tell you what's going to happen. Our model has a better record than Georgia. So we have to trust the model. Now, this model really clicked on the metrics right away. We can talk about the model later. First, let's assess how these teams stack up. Injuries, late camp developments. But just on the surface, this looks like an easy win for Georgia on a neutral site. The trajectories of the programs? Well, since their last meeting, Georgia has won 2 national titles and Clemson has sputtered. Trajectories are in Georgia's favor. Georgia's out-recruited Clemson the last 3 seasons. Talent levels favor Georgia. Clemson has offensive struggles, still looking for a quarterback. And a running back named Mufa is their marquee player. Georgia has all the weapons. The offensive line is solid, maybe untested, but they haven't had a problem in 7 years. Carson Beck has an army of players listed as receiver. How many are top receivers? Well, we don't really know. But still, on the surface, it's a no-brainer. Georgia should win easily and should certainly score 50. But the model disagrees with all of that. All of that. Yes, my friends. We can break this game down in depth. But just to save everyone some time, the metrics of any human that went to public school at least would understand Georgia's going to win this game 50-10. It really can't go any other way. That's what the reality says. Expectations seem valid. 47-13, even 35-20 is as bad as it could get. There's no way Clemson wins this football game based on human physics or any other kind of physics that you might can refer to. But our model disagrees. What does the model say? I'll tell you in a minute. You wouldn't believe it if I told you now. But that's what the model spits out. So, we will have to take a close look at this game. I mean, we're far, far apart from our picks versus the model. And I always trust the model, even when I don't believe it's right. But it's almost always right. So, instead of doing the typical breakdown, let's just explore how could Clemson win when the model says that it will. Maybe. I ain't gonna tell you right now because I'm still trying to believe what this model has told me. So let's find out. Could Clemson win this game?